bluffgawd. BLUFF_GAWD. Look him up. One of Kanye's close friends.
All right, what's good, everybody? Shout outs to always Marco. Damn, I thought I was subscribed. This guy covers MLM scams and various scammer guru fellas. You know what I mean? He makes pretty good videos. He goes super in depth. Sometimes he'll go like undercover and join an MLM and fucking expose them from the inside. Like a sick freak, dude. Good thing he's like on the side of good, right? Shout outs to this guy. He's great. He makes awesome videos. His videos got better and better over the years, right? Because I'm sure he's been posting for several years now. I'm not sure how long he's been on my radar, but like I said, dude, great videos. Let's check this out. Patrick Bet-David gets exposed. Let's see what it's about, man. You know, because anytime I made 3 PBD videos reacting to some shit that other people made, making fun of them, just clean fun, dude. Nothing crazy. And people get so mad, dude. Like, I've never seen the vitriol that I got. Like, in the comments I got were insane, bro. You know what I mean? Like, some were kind of tame, you know what I mean? Where people are like, oh, well, he's rich, you're a poor piece of shit, you know what I mean? And I get it. You're right. You're right, dude. But at the same time, hear me out. Let's hear Marco out. I'm Bluff. Real name's Mark. Always Marco. I'm sometimes Mark, and this is always Marco. So let's see what it's about, dude.
To pick a person who would be in the dictionary next to the word grifter, and it's their picture there, it's Patrick. He is like the tippy top prime example of a true grifter, in my opinion. Patrick Bet-David shared a tweet from Vivek. This is a whole larger thing about the H-1B visa, work visas for immigrants, etc. I'm not going to get into that.
And you know what actually, well...
Here's the important takeaway. Patrick Bet-David replied to this and said, as an immigrant from Iran, I saw this as a working 80 hours a week. I didn't mind the competition. All I wanted was a shot. This used to be the American way. It's funny that he phrases it in that way as well. He says the American way because ironically, or maybe not, the company Amway, which is the OG multi-level marketing company that is responsible for spawning hundreds of copycat spin-off MLMs, which all essentially follow the Amway structure of recruit people to rank up, who recruit people, and on and on. Amway is an abbreviation of American way. That's what the word Amway means. And it's quite funny that Patrick uses that phrase, the American way, because he himself made his wealth off of a multi-level marketing scheme, PHP, which I have a whole video on my channel. It's one of my most popular videos, exposing Patrick Bet-David's pyramid scheme. So Patrick posts this as, you know, an opportunity to grandstand about how hard he worked. I didn't mind working 80 hours a week. Did you know I'm from Iran? Whatever. Next thing that happened was people started to dogpile on Patrick. Here's this guy who says, Patrick Bet-David has insane levels of turnover at Valuetainment.
You guys know I'm from Ukraine, and I do mind working 80 hours a week. Like, what the fuck, bro?
Because he pays slave wages. A reminder that he made his money convincing kids to cut off their families and work day and night to push his MLM insurance scam. This is true. Then somebody else commented and said, quote, the American way is not to work for 80 hours a week for 40 hours of pay. Why should Americans want to or have to compete with that? Patrick claps back and says, the biggest companies that you use their products daily were founded by a group of leaders who worked 80 hours a week for many years. That doesn't mean everyone should do it. Only a few do it because they bought into a cause, not money, but a cause. Money is a byproduct. Again, more grandstanding. These people will never, by these people, I mean people involved in multi-level marketing, pyramid schemes. They will never accept any accountability for anything like negative or toxic that they say. It's always your fault. If you point out how they're so hyper obsessed with money, or that this like hustle culture, grind culture of never sleeping isn't healthy for a human being, they'll never like acknowledge that. They'll just belittle you and say, oh, well, it's not for everyone, which is a thinly veiled euphemistic way of saying I'm better than you. We need somebody to flip the burgers and make the coffee. You have an employee mindset. It's not for everyone. Then somebody replies to this tweet of Patrick and says, speaking of 80 hours per week, Community Notes is working overtime destroying you. Well, what was that community note? The community note said, and Patrick replied to this, "That's actually funny." Spoiler alert, he didn't actually find it funny. Patrick Bet-David made his money by founding a predatory multi-level marketing pyramid scheme, which he then used to market himself as a business guru on YouTube. He is essentially a scam artist. This is the most precise, exact synopsis of what my video was about. So this is the community note that was put on his tweet about how he worked 80 hours a week and he's such a hustler. And then he goes, "That's actually funny." He didn't find it funny.
Oh, that's funny that he made a post about working 80 hours a week, and Twitter was like, "No, you did." No, you did.
Because then he goes and cries to Elon Musk, Daddy Elon Musk, "Hey, Elon, I appreciate the value of community notes in fact-checking misinformation, but this particular note falls short of the platform's stated objectives." Again, when these people get exposed, they start putting on this HR speak. Usually this comes in the form of lawfare, where they use legalese. They'll be in their conventions, "Oh yeah, I was in this for 6 months and I made $1 million." And they'll say all this stuff so casually to like appeal to the lay person. And then when you're actually putting the pressure on them, what you hear back is, you know, you'll get a letter from a lawyer. "There were many factual inaccuracies in your video and this is defamatory." It's like, now we're being all professional when it comes to try to like evade responsibility. But when it came to just tricking people to get that money, we were all, "Hey buddy, brother, blah, blah, blah." So now Patrick is trying to gaslight the entire internet. It's so funny. In his position, you kind of have to double down. You're not going to be where he is in his career and go, "Yeah, actually, you know what, guys, you're right. I am a fucking scammer." He has to keep doubling down. But of course, this doesn't go well for him because this is the Streisand effect. You're just drawing more attention to the thing you don't want people to know about. It's embarrassing, frankly. It feels more like a personal attack tied to my stance on H-1B visas. So here's the straw man argument. "Oh, all these people on the community notes, they're just attacking me because of my stance on H-1."
Hey, Marco, don't talk about the thing. Don't bring up the thing, Marco. Don't bring it up.
B visas, and they don't agree with me. And so that they're trying to say I'm a scammer. Step one, in the first paragraph, gaslight the internet and blame someone else. "Oh, Elon, I like the community notes feature, but not when it fact checks me. This is misinformation."
Exactly.
Then he goes on to try to like divert the issue away from what people are actually criticizing him for, which, remember, his first tweet was about, "I didn't mind working 80 hours a week. I'm an immigrant from Iran, blah, blah." And then people went, "No, you're a scammer who ran a multi-level marketing scheme where the
He's not a scammer, you idiot.
vast majority of people involved are guaranteed to lose money by virtue of the mathematically impossible endless chain recruiting design of it." That's what it was about. So now he's trying to go, "It feels more like a personal attack tied to my stance on H-1B visas, resembling the flaws of Wikipedia." Again, blame someone else. Wikipedia, community notes, Elon, where anyone can spread libel or defame someone's character. Now it's defamation, okay? Doesn't this undermine the integrity? Integrity! I love it when a scammer talks about integrity, you know? Doesn't this undermine the integrity of X's commitment to fair and unbiased information? First of all, Patrick, go fuck yourself. And second of all, go fuck yourself. So yeah, he's flexing outwardly like this doesn't bother him at all. This is just, you know, Twitter has just lost their mind. The internet's broken. The community note system, I'm being attacked. This is the haters. They're just mad at my stance on the H-1B visa. Wikipedia, blah, 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 blah. Cry me a fucking river. That's actually funny. Then goes...
You know, I don't get why these guys can't just like, because look, let me say this, bro. I read PBD's book, guys. Okay? I read his book. It's not a bad book. It's choose your enemies wisely, right? And for the most part, it's got like good information in there. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to I mean, essentially what that book is, bro, it is very like Masonic in nature because it's a lot of like transfiguring emotions to direct yourself on a certain path. You know what I mean? And I do feel like that... There's a car alarm going off at 1 a.m. That's not good. And I feel like that in itself is something good and something that people should learn and know. You know what I mean? Because if you don't know how to like collect yourself and direct your emotions into energy to push yourself and propel yourself, you know what I mean, to get some shit done, whatever that is, you know what I mean? For example, you get mad at work about some shit, you know, Instead of that shit fucking with you all day, you know what I mean? You transfigure the emotion into action instead of being reactive. You know what I mean? Now you're more proactive. Hopefully, you channel that energy into something that you're working on instead of like coming home and bitching to your lady all fucking night about your gay ass job. That's good advice. You know what I mean? But then like all his personal stories, I don't know, bro. They kind of suck. I'm not gonna lie, like, cause it's a whole bunch of personal stories, and then the whole little spiel I just gave y'all, and then you know, it's not a bad book, guys. It's not a bad book, but I don't get why these guys can't just write a book, make YouTube videos, run whatever business they got on the side. You know, I mean, in this guy's case, the business on the side is an MLM. But why can't you not run the MLM? You know what I mean? Why can't you just... Because there's other guys on YouTube who, like, give, you know, business advice and stuff like that. And they, like, do real estate. And they don't have to, like, sell courses and all this bullshit to you. You know what I mean? And try to get you to work for them and all this shit. I don't know. Why can't they do that? Why does it seem like YouTubers do that, bro? Even ones who started out, like, super poor. Because... PBD, he's a YouTuber, bro. You're a YouTuber, okay? So I don't understand why y'all start small, and then almost like 90% of YouTubers, you just know that they're like living beyond their means because they just start doing crazier and crazier shit to make money, you know? Like with the NFTs and whatever the fuck else dudes were doing a few years ago. Like, it was everybody, dude. It's everybody.
Goes and cries to Elon, hey, Elon, please. Bro, Elon doesn't give a fuck about you. Elon doesn't give a fuck about you. So then what happened, presumably at Patrick's request, or because...
Like, I don't know. You shouldn't have to make more and more money year to year. You know what I mean? Like, it's good to, but, like, at a certain point, like, I don't know, man. Like, at a certain point, does 1,001,000, is that really that different from just 1 million? You know what I mean? That's kind of my question.
As other people at Patrick's request, you know, his little brainwashed minions in PHP and Valuetainment, maybe there was some internal memo, I don't know, rushed to his defense to try to correct the community note. And it was updated. Now it says, Patrick Bet-David ran an insurance company, PHP. Already, we've strayed away from reality because PHP is not an insurance company. It's an MLM that deals with insurance. It's an MLM that uses insurance as its disguise. The system, the real money-making mechanism in any one of these multi-level marketing companies, double speak term for pyramid scheme, is...
Well, I wonder how that MLM would work. Because don't most MLMs, like... give you a product, a physical product that they make you buy, you know, buy more of than you need, and then you have to sell all that shit off. Like if you're in a shoe MLM, you know, they make you buy shoes for yourself and then 100 other pairs, you know. And then you gotta sell 100 pairs of fucking shoes. But with the insurance, like, how does that even? I hope Marco. I hope you explain it always, Marco.
Is the endless chain recruiting. So we've already lost the plot here. Patrick Bet-David ran an insurance company, PHP, that operated as a multi-level marketing agency. An MLM has a structure that is similar to a pyramid scheme, okay? Though an MLM is technically legal so long as they sell an actual product. You know what, ladies and gentlemen? I'll take it. I'll take it. I accept that description of it. I think this is a satisfactory community note. Patrick wasn't done complaining about this. Here's a clip of him talking on his podcast about how he's a victim of this misinformation.
I'm reading a book right now by Robert Half about how recruiting firms were grown in the 80s. He explains how in the 70s, one of the things that happened in the 70s and 80s is the media, every time you would see somebody become a billionaire, everybody would say, he made his billions by hurting someone. So the image was the only way you can get rich is by what? Hurting somebody. By telling you, scam artists, con artists, all this other stuff. some of the words, I mean, a community notes section came up, Rob. If you can pull this up. I saw one on, they called Vivek, scammer, con artist. They called, there's a bunch, but here's
It's
one
such
right
a
here.
lazy.
Vivek may not be a scammer, but his books are retarded. I'll say that, dude.
Weak
But put
argument.
this one up there right there on the tweet that I put up. Look at the bottom there. Patrick Bet-David made his money by founding a predatory multi-level marketing pyramid scheme, which he then used to market himself as a business.
Interesting. You know why he did this? Because he's like Eminem and 8 Mile. You know what I mean? He's Eminem and 8 Mile in it. That's what I call it. Eminem and 8 Mile in it.
Screw on YouTube. He is essentially
Get
a
ahead
scammer.
of the
By way,
narrative.
the community notes allowed that for a couple hours.
It's truly stunning. It's truly remarkable that he would lean into this even more to make more content about it. Guys, look how ridiculous this is. And his little shoe shiner, whatever his name is, Adam.
His shoe shiner? His shoe shiner?
It's such a lazy argument. No, it would be a lazy argument if it was just
Dude.
the plebs and the brokies and the wages being jealous of you having more money. That's not what it's about. I can verifiably explain to the lay person, to anybody, why what he does.
You know what's funny is like a lot of rich people, not all rich people I know. I know a couple rich people and a couple people who got rich. And like a lot of them are fucking weird, dude. I'll say that, dude. A lot of them are very weird and like insecure. And like I'm not passing judgment, you know what I mean? And I'm not projecting. I'm just telling you what I see. All right. There was a guy I used to work with, right? He clearly had more money than everyone else. You know what I mean? But anytime we'd all make fun of him, like, cause you know we're guys, we're just fucking around talking shit to each other. He'd he'd get all mad, pretend like he's not mad, get all mad, and pull out a stack of cash and just start counting it like a fucking retard, dude. And that's kind of the case with a lot of these guys. You know what I mean? Like it's very weird, bro. It's very weird, very insecure guys, dude. It's crazy.
He does, why what he
Cause here's the thing, dude. I'm not gonna get into that, bro. I'm not. Once a lame, always a lame. Shout outs to Kendrick.
made his money off of is an actual scam. I know the answer to every false equivalence and every personal attack that they'll use to try to distract me. I had somebody comment on my video about Patrick the other day. They said something like, Marco operates in the shadows, whatever the fuck that means. He would never go on Patrick's show. This is in response to somebody else saying that I should go and debate Patrick on his podcast.
Well, you do operate in the shadows, bro. You got this very cloak and dagger room you're in. You know what I mean? Looks like the damn the damn room from The Godfather, bro. A lot of shadows in there, dude. Not enough light. And also that logo on your shirt, dude. Very satanic, dude. Very anti, you know?
Let me ask you
But it's okay to operate in the shadows if you're doing the good work, dude. And you are. So keep it up, bro. Please.
guys something. Do you really think Patrick would invite someone on his platform? He has a bigger platform than me. Let's just call it what it is. That's true. You think he's going to invite me on his platform to talk to him about why he is a scammer for all his millions of audience members to see?
No.
Do you... Of course I would do it, but that's never going to happen, okay? First of all, that's probably a setup. But fuck it. Let's say I go to Florida.
Right, dude. He goes to Florida, walks into the PBD studios, and all those old dudes just start beating the fuck out of him, dude. Like that would be fucked up, dude. And that's the stream. And that's the stream that PBD is going to put out. Assaulting always Marco. Don't go, bro. Don't go. It's not worth it. Don't even go.
Florida or wherever, and I go to Patrick's podcast studio and I sit down and I go, okay, Patrick, here's why you're a scammer. What do you think's gonna happen? I'll tell you what's gonna happen. Oh, well, we found this about you, and it could be something completely.
Dude, he's not gonna get the chance to say any of that. He's on your ass, bro. And let me ask you this, what's he gonna find about you? What are you worried about? What are you worried about always, Marco?
Made up, bro. The way this guy ducks and dodges, nothing would happen.
What are
that's
you
productive,
hiding?
especially if his little completely made up.
That's true. PBD ducks and dodges so much, guys. Like, even when he's telling the story and there's nothing to duck and dodge, he ducks and dodges. He ducks and dodges the fucking progression of the story that he's fucking telling, dude. He's nuts, dude. He's fucking nuts.
Bro, the way this guy ducks and dodges, nothing would happen that's productive. Especially if his little goons are there, like Adam and whatever other bootlickers and shoe shiners that he...
Little weasels, dude. Look at these guys. Look at this. He's doing the little eye. This dude, the dude all the way on the left, completely dead eyes, dude. Looks like the fucking shark from Finding Nemo. This fucking old fuck on the right. Jesus, dude. PBD, like, his picture looks crazy because it looks like they pulled his hairline down on Photoshop, bro. That shit looks nuts.
That he has sitting there in the room with him. Shout out to this Twitter page, The Quartering. The Quartering posted this TikTok, which I made. It's clipped from my video about PBD, and he sarcastically has the caption, "Americans are lazy and retarded. They won't even work 100 hours a week, fooling desperate people to sign up for their multi-level marketing scheme. They won't promise people an unattainable goal in exchange for them selling out their friends and families. Be more like immigrants." And some of these comments.
Be more like immigrants, bro. Like, as an immigrant, I know some shitty fucking immigrants, bro. As an immigrant, I'm just gonna say, as an immigrant, I took the test and all that shit. Shout out to everyone else who did. Shout out to all immigrants, bro. We're all one big happy family, dude. But I know people who look like me, right? Who have been in America longer than me. Can't fucking speak English, bro. You know what I mean? And here's the thing. It's not necessarily about assimilating, but like just on a personal level, like how can you live somewhere and not speak the language and not be like a burden on somebody? Like somebody in your family is doing like everything for you. That's kind of what it is. Be more like immigrants. Shut the fuck up.
MLMs are horrible. It gives legit direct sales companies a bad name. Not only are they scams, the people recruiting to make money off their teams act like they're in a cult. I'd like to make one correction. If I had to pick a person who would be in the dictionary next to the word, I'll tell you what's going to happen. Oh, well, we found this about you. And it could be something completely out there, friends. Friends and families. Be more like immigrants. And some of these comments. MLMs are horrible. It gives legit direct sales companies a bad name. Not only are they scams, the people recruiting to make money off their teams act like they're in a cult. I'd like to make one correction to this. These people don't act like they're in a cult. They're not being culty. They're not being cult-ish. They are in a cult. You wouldn't say something is scammy. You wouldn't say something is abusey. You would say it's a scam. You would say it's abuse. Basically a giant Ponzi scheme, and on and on and on. Is MLM illegal, says Christopher? If not, it just makes PBD smart. Imagine if Christopher existed, I don't know, 100 years ago when slavery was still a thing. Imagine if Christopher said, is the slave plantation owner doing something illegal? No. If not, that just makes him smart. Fun fact, Patrick Bet-David only hires 13% white people for his companies. Make of that as you will. I'm glad that he included this clip, The Quartering, because this is something I talked about how he's this like conservative values guy, Trump supporter, and, you know, immigration bad, DEI agenda bad, LGBT bad. And yet on his own company's website, he like brags about how he has only a small amount of white people working there. Again, I don't think Patrick actually believes anything. Patrick is a person.
Yeah, I don't know if that or how much that matters. That feels like another predatory tactic to, and I think this is Marco's point, is that it does just feel like another predatory tactic to get you know, people who aren't white to apply for the company and stuff like that, which I don't know, just another predatory thing. Could be a predatory thing in a lot of cases, right? And I think, yeah. I think the one thing that a lot of the people who do get like an entry position working for PBD, I think the main common denominator between everybody is the fact that, you know, they're fucking broke and probably pretty desperate, bro. Because the only time I've ever like even gone to like I've gone to like I think 2 MLM recruitment things, three, really 2, right? And yeah, it's only when I was like completely fucked in life, dude. Like I would never. That kind of shit is not even a consideration. You know what I mean?
Person, in my opinion, who, depending on the situation,
like just selling bullshit. Like what the fuck, dude? Like selling cars and real estate. That kind of shit is like legit, right? But like walking door to door, like trying to sell windows to people, like go home, bro. Just go home, dude.
and depending on what like the popular consensus is, or what he thinks is going to make him look the best or provide the best result to him, that is what dictates what he says and does in any given situation. But there's no consistency. He'll have this on his website as though it's a badge of honor, the diversity, but then he goes on his podcast and he's talking about like Trump, aggressive enforcement on immigration, you know, and it's like he's this super conservative guy. Again, I'm not proffering my own opinion on any of those topics. I'm just saying, at least be consistent. Patrick is a grifter in the truest sense of the word. I think if I had to pick a person who would be in the dictionary next to the word grifter, and it's their picture there, it's Patrick. He is like the tippy top prime example of a true grifter, in my opinion. And it is super cringe. There's a great thing that I read. It's called The Narcissist's Prayer. This is exactly what we just experienced with Patrick from these tweets and from his denial of his history and the gaslighting of the internet, saying, oh, defamation, defamation, defamation. This is the quote. That didn't happen. And if it did, it wasn't that bad. And if it was, it's not a big deal. And if it is, it wasn't my fault. And if it was, I didn't mean it. And if I did, you deserved it. This is literally the Patrick Bet-David playbook when it comes to, did you run a multi-level marketing scheme? Just go watch the debate that CoffeeZilla did with Patrick. Debate. I venture to even call it a debate because nothing of substance was actually disputed or discussed. He comes out the gate trying to condescend to CoffeeZilla. Do you know the difference between an MLM and an
Yeah, that was kind of wild, and that was when CoffeeZilla was still newish, right? He was kind of coming. He was big enough to get PBD, but yeah, PBD was like talking crazy, dude. And it's so funny to see things now, how like CoffeeZilla's fucking huge, bro. I'm sure his channel is way bigger than PBD's now, which is insane.
FMO, like he's trying to make it seem like, oh, I'm not an MLM. I'm actually this other thing. You just don't understand. You're just too uneducated. I know I'm not alone when I say I am tired of rich people who became rich from being a scammer. I'm not mad at you for winning capitalism. I'm not mad at you for making money because you invented a thing that so many people wanted that you inevitably ended up making a lot of money. Go ahead, do your thing. What I am sick of is people who made their money through nefarious methods, who are verifiably scammers, who for some reason or another never face any accountability or justice for what they've done, and then rub salt and vinegar in the wound by trying to grandstand and condescend and rub it in your face about how they're such a hustler and you should just pick yourself up by your bootstraps, and if you don't like it, you're a hater, and insert the narcissist's prayer.
Good shit, dude.
Let me just offer a disclaimer first and say I actually...
This is from 11 months ago. He didn't even go a full year before, you know, going at him again. Let's go back in time and watch a little bit of this. We probably won't watch the whole thing unless it's interesting. Let's see.
Actually like a lot of Patrick Bet-David's content. He's done some really compelling, good interviews. I would have even gone so far as to say that I was a fan of Patrick Bet-David a few years ago until I learned that Patrick Bet-David made his millions running a multi-level marketing company. If you're unaware or unfamiliar, multi-level marketing companies are scams that depend on a mathematically impossible endless chain recruiting scheme in order for you to make money by rising up the ranks of said scheme. Recruit 5 people, who recruit 5 people, who recruit 5 people, and so on. Patrick Bet-David...
Yeah, make everybody in the world casually, like, you know, part-time work for your company, and that's how that business continues to grow. Not with innovation, not with some amazing products, just more people buying into your shit, you know what I mean? Anyways, check out Always Marco's channel. If you're watching this video, you probably already have seen Always Marco's channel, you know what I mean? Anyway, whatever. Thanks, guys. Peace.